after this. Has this ever happened to you that when you look at your bank statement and you go, oh, dude, where did the money go? I know this happens to me all the time, has happened to me all the time. So you see the sales are coming in, the customers are buying, but your bank account still feels empty. You ask yourself, where did the money go? Because most of the time, for most business owners, it's not that you don't have the customers. It's not that you don't have enough profits. You just don't understand cash flow management. Now, there'll be one point in your life that things will change. Well, mine happened in October of 1984 when my mom called me into her office and said, Albert, yeah, mom, you owe the IRS. I go, huh? Yeah, you owe the IRS. You see, at this time, I was getting paid cash. I didn't know anything. I didn't have a bank book. I didn't have a checking account. I didn't know nothing, income statement. I didn't know anything. So that put me on a mission to help my clients. And 41 years later, we assisted over 50,000 business owners to increase their profits, to understand cash flow. And this is why we started CFO In-A-Box. Today, we're looking for 5 business owners who want to learn my system for over 41 years and 50,000 clients later to show you how to make your cash flow work for you. So, how are we going to do this? Well, most of us have a car, yes. And when you drive down the street, you always want to see green lights. Well, we're going to use a traffic light system so you can understand how you're doing, how you're running the financials on your business. So, the first one we're going to talk about is my red light people. See, my red light people pretty much live their lives and work their business just looking on the balances. They pretty much live everything pretty much blind. They don't check their checking account statements. They don't see anything. Okay, they don't do no income statements. They don't have no balance sheet. They don't have anything. QuickBooks says 66% of small business owners do not actively look at their finances regularly. So here's one thing that happened in my office just a short time ago this year. Somebody got a 1099 for $500,000 after they sold her mom's house. We then did the tax return and she was going to owe $90,000. Well, this lady went into panic mode and said, Albert, what am I going to do? I only make $70,000. Well, these are classic reds because they just do everything blindly. They don't understand any consequences. Now, my next people are my yellows. My Truist Bank survey says 71% of small business owners don't even understand what cash flow is. Not at all. So here's what a typical yellow business is. They're making good profits. Okay, they're making good profits. The sales are good, customers are good, but here's part of the trick. They don't understand revenue versus cash flow. They think busy is equal success. So that this is going to get them into trouble because most of my yellows aren't putting money away. I call it the bucket system. So the bucket system is pretty much you start setting up accounts and systems in place. Like one of them could be maybe you got to start putting money away to the IRS. One of them could be as we start going over it, understanding budgets and income statements and things that you know where you're making a profit. So maybe you can start investing in yourself so you can to pay less to the government. So you need to understand, you need to put a system in place to know where your money's going. My yellow people, they're making the money, they have good sales, but they don't understand where their profit's going. One of the best examples of this is I see this all the time. People who have service business that come into the office, they make great deposits, and they have great income, but they never know where the money's going. Because I see this all the time because they don't have the system. CFO In-A-Box is going to put the systems in place to show you how this won't happen again. Now, my green people think real quick. My green people, they got everything going, man. They got the income statement going. They got their buckets going. They got everything going good. But here's the problems with greens. Sometimes they could have leaky profits. Maybe if you start going over what your budgeting is, there could be things that are going away. Maybe you can figure out how to maximize more cost, more profit per client. That's another thing you can start to do. So in reality, most businesses are never 100% green, but here's a great statistic. Here's a great statistic on this is 51% of business, my God, the Federal Reserve says you're 51% away from a one big surprise that could put you out of business. The best example of this was Spirit Airlines. See, Spirit Airlines went out of business because fuel prices went up so high that they couldn't compete. Okay, and they didn't realize that was coming, and they didn't adjust prices to stay in the market. But you know what else this also happened to? Recently, remember when the fuel prices spiked up? If you're an Uber driver or you did truck driving or anything in transportation, fuel prices spiked up and now you can be in big problems. Well, that could have been avoided if you understand cash flow analysis, where you know where your money's going and you really start putting money away for heavy duty rainy days. Now that we've gone through the reds, and let me review this with you. My red people, they do everything blindly. My yellow people, okay, my yellows, okay, they understand they're making a profit, but they don't know where the money's going. And my green people, they're doing great, but are they prepared for that one disaster that could happen that could almost wipe you up? Are you sitting there and learning how to make sure you maybe have a few leaks that we can tweak and show you how to increase your profits or make more money in your business? Those are my green people. Now, as a special thank you for you coming in today, I have a checklist of cost saving tips that we've used for almost 41 years. So to get these, all you got to do is text profits, PROFITS, to 26786. That's profits to 26786. And we're going to get that PDF handout to you right away. So I have a couple of cost saving, time saving tools that you can use almost instantly to start putting money in your pocket. The first one is Miles IQ. That's a pretty cool program because IRS says you're supposed to be tracking miles on your car. So Miles IQ is the number one program that once you set it up, it's gonna help you track your miles so that now you won't have any issues with the IRS. I can tell you for a fact that if you're self-employed and you do Schedule C income, IRS really looks hard on line 7 of a Schedule C self-employed. That's where a lot of people mess up when they do it on tax returns on their own. The second one we're going to talk about today is Fetch. Fetch is a program that I really found it recently. So with Fetch is free, that you start uploading statements, receipts that you paid all the time. So as the receipts go up, two things start to happen. Your things are organized. One, your things are organized. Two, they're going to give you points that you're going to get Amazon business cards. The third tool is called Quiet Books. This is a system that me and my partners put together where we're going to show you how where your money's going, like cash flow analysis. Is there any leakage in your profit or expenses? Do your money's going? How to set up a budget? When you work with us in CFO in a Box, we're going to give this to you as part of the program. So here's a known thing is if you got a family, you see, in order to work with your family, okay, in order to work, I messed this up, with your family, what you got to do with your family is, where the money's going is very important because we're all are making profits on your business, but are you putting the buckets away? Part of one of the buckets I put away all the time is money to go on vacation or to spend time with my loved ones or help them out. This is my granddaughter, and she was the cutest kid in the park on Halloween this year. Because if you want to create a better life for your family, then you're going to have to understand cash flow and where your money's going. Now, if you're looking to make sure you have more money in your pocket at the end of the month, if you're looking for systems and processes that to start putting buckets away and set up the systems so you can have a better life. If you answer yes to any of these questions, then it's time to join CFO in a Box because it's an 8-week class that we're going to show you how to take your business to the next level. We have an 8-week live group and coach session, which we're going to give you workbooks, blueprints, templates. We're going to customize and help you work with to make sure your systems match your business. You'll have 24 access with me that through our WhatsApp group. We're going to go over your business. We will also open up a corporation or foundation with their Florida address. We have calls every week, and then we're going to review 2 years of your tax returns. So the cost, if you added everything up, is $14,700. If you go to CFO in a Box, it's $3,000. But if you sign up today with us in the back, it's only $1,500. It's good. Record.